What? That's a really, really good track. Bad toilet, sir.
Austria versus Singapore.
Bad. Both bad.
So we have our final. Alex Albon, who is winning? Hello everybody and welcome to the P1 podcast with Matt and Tommy. We're here with Alex Albon as well. Oh yes, straight off a flight from Hungary. So today we're going to be ranking the 2025 Formula One circuits, kind of like a World Cup style, right, Tommy? We're going to be kind of doing head-to-heads.
Yeah.
It can be based on whatever you want.
Okay.
Probably driver enjoyment is probably the easiest way to do it.
Not like toilet facilities.
Exactly that.
You know, that's a big talking point with us. Like, what tracks have good toilets and not good toilets? Because, you know, in some paddocks, this sounds really bougie, but we do have to share the toilets with the public.
Oh, no.
And so you will be in the cubicle doing your thing, and there's just people like, can we have a selfie? And you're like, I'm literally in the middle of something. And
well done in qualifying, mate. Yeah. Do you mind?
literally.
Okay, so like Matt said, World Cup kind of system, and we've actually done seeds as well. So we've got thousands of fans to vote, and we've got 1 to 24 seeds to match up. The top 8 advance into the next round already, just to make it work, which are Interlagos, Silverstone, Red Bull Ring, Kota, Spa, Monza, Suzuka, and Montreal.
Right, let's get into the first matchup, Alex.
Yep.
Here we go then. It is Zandvoort versus Imola.
I would say, personally speaking, I like Zandvoort.
Zandvoort.
Yeah, it's hardcore. It's way too narrow to be a Formula One track, but that's what makes it good.
Does it feel like a karting track almost?
Yes, it seems ridiculous what we're doing, and I'm all for it.
Okay, so Zandvoort makes it through to the next round.
Yes.
We now have Bahrain versus the lowest seed, 24th, Miami.
Oh. Miami. I really struggle with Bahrain. I'm not one for Bahrain.
No. Okay.
What's
Bahrain's
great about
pretty
Bahrain is the hotels are so close to the track. Honestly,
Toilets, hotels.
it's quite nice to have the privilege of a 5-minute drive, less than a 5-minute drive to the track.
Bahrain's an interesting one because it used to be that kind of circuit that people didn't really like the new tracks, but it's kind of been so long now. This was the 9th most popular fan track, Bahrain, which seems quite
To be
bizarre.
fair, the racing is very good.
The racing is good. I think that's what a lot of fans vote for, isn't it?
Yeah, that's smart.
So Miami makes it through.
Miami makes it
Okay,
through
we
on
absolutely love to see it.
pure personal reasons.
Next up is Saudi Arabia versus Mexico.
Okay, Saudi. That is a proper track. I'm scared on the day that one driver is going to have a big crash there.
We've been scared about
we
that
say
for many
that.
years.
It's kind of waiting for a really scary accident.
Wind it a little bit.
But honestly, we're doing 300 kilometers an hour and it's a blind spot to 100 meters in a lot of them corners. Just make the straight.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
The slowdown lap's quite terrifying that you're just constantly thinking, please
We
don't
are,
have a car
especially,
come
we're like kind of dancing across where we think a car would be on their push laps. So it gets a bit sketchy.
You constantly have to think about where isn't the racing line to sit. And that must be taxing in itself. Okay, but Saudi makes it through because it is a proper driver's circuit. Next up, we have China versus Abu Dhabi.
China is an underrated track.
Thank you. Yes, I've been saying this
the
for
Matt
so
Gallagher
many years.
opinion.
Such a good track.
They've changed the tarmacs. The tarmacs got much better recently. Actually grippy this time. I like it. Yeah.
We'll go for China.
Okay, China's through. We now go to Hungary versus Vegas.
So I would often put Hungary as not as good as what other drivers would put it as, but Vegas is really much worse.
Really?
So I find Vegas really tricky as a race weekend with the jet lag that we have to deal with.
Of course, yeah.
And the event as a whole with the timing of it. Because it is a night race in Vegas, which puts it in its own little bracket of jet lag. Like that belongs in a different world. I think some people love Vegas as maybe for the fan point of view.
It was surprisingly low as the 18th most popular.
I wouldn't have
feel
put
like
that low.
I think if it continues to produce a good race every single year, I think you'll see it a lot higher.
Yeah,
right?
that's very
Because
true.
on paper, it's like massive straights, hard braking zones.
Yeah.
We get overtakes.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think I keep looking at it as like a pure driving point of view and silly things like jet lag.
Hungary makes it through.
Hungary.
Okay, next up we have Australia versus Monaco.
Australia. And I look at it again, like I look at it as a city, really cool place to be. Monaco, I get to sleep in my own bed, which is nice.
Monaco is always a controversial one. 23rd most popular because I think fans a lot of fans are getting that last race there. For the first time ever, I was kind of like, this is getting a bit ridiculous now. Even as the biggest hardcore Monaco supporter ever. Do you find that like you get there on Friday, you go, this is the best circuit ever, and then you do your interviews on Sunday and go, this is terrible.
What's weird for me was it was the first time in my career around Monaco where I didn't even feel the buzz in qualifying. It felt like a normal track to me. Like I didn't feel the walls, which was weird. Which maybe it might be experience and just getting comfortable with being close to the walls, but it was like just a regular track. So I was quite relaxed in qualifying when I was doing my laps, and other years it was like,
that's really interesting.
So yeah, I know what you mean. I think they do need to make, the cars will get smaller.
A little bit.
There's a lot of real estate around Monaco, and I think we did have some really good conversations around making it better for overtaking. So let's see.
Okay, all right. From 2026 and beyond,
I think they can do it for 26. But let's see if they do it. But.
All right, Tommy's love for the Monaco's just gone up by 1 million. Next up, we have Singapore versus Spain.
I don't really like the layout of Singapore, but I like the city and I like the challenge of it physically. Barcelona, I've done too many laps around there. It's.
We as fans are sick of seeing it with how many laps we've seen.
It feels like a testing circuit when you get there for a Grand Prix for the fans, never mind the drivers. I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, so Singapore makes it through, and finally in this first round we have Baku versus Qatar.
Ooh, Qatar. Yeah. That's a really, really good track. It's really well done. The only thing I'd say is it's insanely physical.
Well, it's just everything's medium to high speed, really, isn't there? There's not
exactly. And we also come from Vegas, which we've just been destroyed by, and then we go into Qatar, which is the most physical track of the year, with a massive carryover of the jet lag and the double header into a triple header.
And it still makes it through. It's a great track.
Good?
I'm there, yeah, exactly.
Okay, we now have the next set of head-to-heads, and this is where the top 8 have got through. So here we go. Okay. We have Brazil versus Zandvoort.
Zandvoort.
Not even a hesitation.
I don't
Can
like
we just
Brazil.
say Brazil was number 1 seed.
What?
Number 1.
Is that because of the weather?
Yeah,
maybe,
the weather
and
usually.
it just does deliver a really good race. The average score out of 10 was 9.39 from thousands of people. It's just one of those tracks that...
I find it, even though we just said Zandvoort's kind of like a go-kart track, Brazil's feels like that. I think it's because these cars are so heavy now, and they lose so much downforce in low-speed corners. It feels like you're turning a bus around a track. It's just...
I don't really get
so
why
lazy.
Interlagos creates such good...
Yeah.
Because on paper, I don't think it would really work, but it just seems to.
It's true.
Altitude?
I think like a lot of corners, you can do different lines. Like sector 2, if one guy goes wide, you go tight, wide, and you can offset your clean air. So you can generally stay...
It's that turn 1 switch back
Exactly. You can find pockets of clean air when you're battling in sector 2, and you can...
Or
the DRS.
Stay there,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
but it's gone. It's
gone.
Ciao, ciao.
Next up, we have Canada versus Miami.
I do like Canada. Yeah, Canada's a really cool track. As a driver, it's really fun when you get the balance over the curbs, and then you can gain that extra lap time, and there's like a technique on how you hit the curbs. That's like the details make it really fun.
Okay, a really exciting track. I think we agree as fans as well that it's good. It's really good to watch, especially in quali.
And Montreal's super cool.
Yeah, it's a very cool place.
Yeah, bad toilets though. Really bad toilets. Actually, maybe the worst toilet situation on it.
The worst. Wow, 24th seed for toilets. Next up, we have Kota versus Saudi.
Kota, a well-designed track. I find it a little bit awkward in many ways. Like I don't enjoy sector 3 that much, but I appreciate what they've done to make the racing good. So that's fun.
Are they annoying for drivers, those kind of slow, clumsy corners that...
Yeah.
Because it's quite fun to watch on TV when you can do the switch back.
Yes,
For a driver,
what song is that when it goes crisscross? I don't know.
I know, yeah.
I know which song you mean. Cha-cha slide.
Yeah, cha-cha slide. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, it does feel a bit cha-cha slide, but we can deal with that.
Okay, Kota makes it through. Next up, Spa versus China.
Spa would win that one. Yeah.
Spa wins out.
Yeah. Keep it simple. Amazing track.
Spa is
They do need to extend, I think, the DRS zone. I'm surprised how bad the overtaking's got in Belgium because it has all the recipe for a good racing track.
I think fans are it will always get like a bit of a free pass from the fans because it's so exciting. The drivers love it. We've had great races in the past, but definitely fans are starting to get a bit more like, come on, Spa, when are you going to actually deliver a really good race for us? Because
I think that, weirdly, that chicane in Sector 3, if there's a different way you could get into some clean air, would help, because turn 1 is fine. Like turn 1, you lose too much in the chicane, and then you can never really, turn 1 you kind of stay the same, and then that's it. But also nowadays everyone's become so drag efficient. We're running so much less downforce. We're so much quicker down the straights than we were in 2022 even. And so the slipstream effect is getting less and less.
And the DRS is less powerful.
And the DRS is less powerful and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Next up, we have Silverstone versus Hungary.
Silverstone.
Okay, good.
Silverstone.
The fans will like that as well. It's the second seed is Silverstone. What do you love about?
The biggest thing is it's also really well done for racing. When I think about different lines, you need tracks that can offer you different lines. As soon as it becomes single file and you're stuck in the dirty air, then it's game over. So
that's why we always mention it every time we get the question of what's the one sec you would bring back. We say Sepang, because that first kind of sector where you swap was always amazing, right?
Exactly.
Next up, we have Suzuka versus Australia.
Ooh, some heavy hitters. Now you've kind of persuaded me into thinking more like big picture rather than just driving. Japan's my favorite track to drive on, but it isn't that great for racing.
Because it's very narrow.
yeah, and I don't know, it's like almost like the run into turn 1. When you do it, it's like that, and you've got to have a lower drag to the other car, and it gets a bit tricky. So I'm going to say Melbourne, weirdly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you get like disheartened at a track like, say, like Suzuka, when you go into the weekend, you're really excited to drive it, quality is amazing and all that kind of stuff, then you get into a race and it's almost like boring and you're just stuck behind another car?
Yeah, it can be like that, yes. And that's a good example, like Sector 1 in Austin versus Sector 1 in Suzuka. You would argue they're very similar, and I think they're been designed around the same concept.
Yeah.
But in Austin, there's a bigger chance to find pockets of clear air because the first bit's already flat anyway, and then there's the way you can do your different lines is quite different. Whereas in Suzuka, it's way more single file. It's a bit tighter, and the corners are narrower, so you end up not being able to do the cha-cha slide. And so it's just little things like that make a big difference to the racing.
We now go to Austria versus Singapore.
Bad. Both bad.
So that's interesting, because again, this is clearly from a fan perspective.
Yes.
And this surprised me actually. Austria was the 3rd most popular track on the whole calendar.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never liked Red Bull Ring. Fantastic place, but is the racing that good? I think we've been quite lucky that for some reason Max and Lando have made it good for the last few. And if it was before, then it was Max and Charles. But in the midfield, it's not an easy track to follow either. So.
Yeah, I guess you just have like, we've had like weird conditions, haven't we? Sometimes it's been mixed conditions, sometimes the track's been really hot and it's caused upsets with Mercedes when they were dominating. And then you obviously have that really hard on the brakes into turn, so technically 3, which does promote some kind of chaos.
That's fair enough.
So why is it the middle sector that's not really that fun?
I find it just, middle sector, Sector 3 is fine. I think other drivers like it more than I do. I just find it's too much thinking time. It's just corner straight. There's not that much flow.
So who is going through? Austria or Singapore?
Austria.
Singapore.
And then finally in this round we have Monza versus Qatar.
Monza.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that one.
But Monza's been much harder to follow than previous years.
That's another weird one that you can't explain to people that on paper Monza should be the best track for overtaking. It's actually one of the worst.
Yeah.
There's no wing on anyone.
There's no wing, and it's really interesting when we do our qualifying runs now. If you look at the recent years, it's been often preferred now to run in clean air, which around Monza, do you remember like 2019, 2020 when we used to be
just playing quality
playing
games.
quality
Yeah.
games, and now it's gone totally the opposite, and you'll find people doing clean. And it's just that it's funny how these generation of cars, clean air is becoming even more powerful as the cars become more and more efficient dealing with straight line speed.
Is it expected from 26 and beyond that we get more slipstream back?
I think it would be. I don't know, but I see Formula E, and I think, I mean, that's like become a peloton now. It won't be to that extreme, but how much more efficient would it be to be in?
Okay, so maybe some racing. I like it.
maybe.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Right, Zandvoort versus Canada.
I'm going to be selfish here. I still like Zandvoort more as a track.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can be as selfish as you want.
I am.
It's
your
your
decision.
grades. Right, next up, Kota versus Spa.
Kota.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
Spa's
even.
gone.
Yeah, Kota's just like a hybrid.
If Kota had no runoff, it would be like another level.
Yeah, those thin strips of gravel that's been popping up here and there, like a little bit of that for track limits and
Yeah,
things.
it
The
works.
poor sweepers every session.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, to be fair,
You're going to have
there was
Arnold Schwarzenegger just a massive arm pump by the end of the weekend.
just constantly sweeping up. Next is Silverstone versus Melbourne.
Silverstone.
Silverstone makes it
Nice.
through. And then it's Austria versus Monza.
Monza.
Monza
Okay,
makes
so
it through.
we've got- all
We're
right,
here
we go.
to the semi-final. Zandvoort versus Kota.
Kota. Yeah.
Kota makes it
Kota,
through to the
loving
final.
Kota then. Is
I
it-
know where this is going.
Yeah.
Is it a mix of the racing and the fact that it's a fun driver's track as well?
Yes, exactly that. I think they have a nice hybrid. Generally, the pit stops can be 1 stop, 2 stops.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Kota. And then the other one, Silverstone versus Monza.
Silverstone.
Okay.
Okay,
So we
yeah.
have our final. It is the Circuit of the Americas versus Silverstone. Alex Albon, who is winning?
Silverstone. Easy. Silverstone to me, you got the weather, which is always unpredictable. It's still good racing. If you're 4/10 slower, you can still overtake. That doesn't happen at most tracks. You need to have a pace deficit of at least 6-7 tenths at most tracks. And I mean, some tracks are Monaco's 5 seconds.
The good thing about Silverstone is there's so many circuits on the F1 calendar, like we've spoken about, like Suzuka and Spa and all these classics, but we're always complaining that it's so hard to overtake, whereas Silverstone, for some reason, it
Yes.
does just work still.
We had it with like Fernando. I overtook him on the last lap in Silverstone, and my pace advantage to him was around 3.5, 4 tenths.
Perfect. That's what it
And
should
I
be.
could still overtake him.
Yeah. Okay. Silverstone wins. Thank you so much, Alex, for joining us for this ranking. Any of those stand out to you? Because I guess you don't do this kind of head-to-head thing.
Yeah, well, in the beginning I was being totally selfish, and then in the middle of this, toilets and distance to track from hotels, and then I kind of played what the fans have been voting for, which is more of what's the complete package track, but I still would have finished on the
Silverstone was always going to win. Okay. Thank you so much, Alex, for
No
coming
problem.
on, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye bye.